welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Tuesday. The Barnes and Tony Show. Once again, as we inch closer and closer to Super Bowl 59. Obviously, that's a big focus, but a lot else going on in the wide world of sports. How you doing, sir?
Good, dude. Pretty happy to be here.
Have a scramble,
Dude, is right. But yeah, dude, stoked to be talking some big slate of hockey tonight, dude, even though the late slate last night, but still, game was pretty good. Ottawa, Nashville, whatever. And I guess we can talk some Knicks too. Actually, I was watching some highlights this morning. So yeah. And actually, so I was in the Discord last night with Josh, with Kev, with Tommy, Matt as well. And they were all watching the Knicks, except Tommy and me were watching the hockey game. And it was funny, obviously we'll talk about it, but the whole, Vegas trap scenario, and we're good, Tony, was, I just went for it and ended up hitting just one of those ridiculous things. It's like they were almost playing mind games with us because there's just no way, the way Ottawa's played this year and the way that Nashville has played this year, that Ottawa would be favorites. I don't care about a back-to-back. It was the first leg of a back-to-back. And, yeah, they were going with the backup tender, but he's been starting this whole time. And I think Allmark should return tonight in Tampa against the Lightning. So a bit of nonsense to say the least. Yeah, dude, it is actually pretty weird because it's like you said, yeah, backup tender, yeah. But, I mean, Forsberg has been killing it for filling in for Allmark. So, I don't know. And not for nothing, dude. We've seen Nashville. I mean, Nashville's been one of the biggest disappointments this season. So, I mean, whatever. I think Ottawa ended up being, even on the money line, I think?
They might have went down to even. I think when I got them, it was like plus 110, which if you talk about value.
Value, dude.
So, yeah, we'll talk about that. And, yeah, they were riled about the Knicks. And it was funny, when I first got into the chat, everyone's downtrot. Almost like you, which, listen, I was in the same boat the other night with the Rangers. So kind of a similar comeback. I think they outscored the Rockets by like 17 in the fourth quarter, which is pretty impressive. But before we get to all of that, already the comments early and often on a 2x Tuesday.
Oh yeah, a 2 for Tuesday, bro.
Almost. It's like Kaliev.
Yeah.
I still swear I don't know if that's right.
Kaliev.
Oh, so I did say it right.
Yeah, that's correct, dude. Yes. There we go, dude. There we go now.
It's not that hard.
No.
What are we talking about? Dude. It's like Uber Dow. You just say it.
Arthur. All right, dude. We have early and often, we know Josh B, as always, dude. What's up, fam? Knicks look like they could have something special. Gotta get fully healthy. Let's have a day. And Josh I guess B. It was a pretty intense game for sure. Great comeback, the fourth quarter. We know, dude. And then Michael Buckter also in here, dude, says, "Hey Barnes, the Lakers are making a deep championship run since Luka arrived."
They could.
First game is tomorrow, I think. Is it?
Is Luka playing though?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
He's been out.
Oh, he has been out.
Yeah, I think for like a month. I actually, because I have him for fantasy, which like literally my whole team is injured. But actually, I want to check just to see what the notes say on that. So just take a look here. So Luka Doncic. Legend. I guess I have to look. I was looking in the fantasy notes, but I don't see anything. But let's see if we have anything on the regular sports news here on Luka.
Calf and I guess calf has been a problem here for him. It still says status is out here for ESPN.
It feels like it's still going to be okay, let's see. 17 hours ago, CBS Sports could make his return as sooner as February 10th. Okay, so he's going to be out at least another week plus. So
That's kind of unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, long-term thing, and the Lakers, I think, like I was saying yesterday, are 5th in the standings, so in a good spot.
Oh, yeah.
But
you know who else is in a good spot, dude? Kev Dew says, "Let's go, dude. We want the smoke. Let's go, Mets." He says, and he says you can call Soto daddy.
that's kind of weird, right? Or no? It's just kind of like a weird thing to say, Kev.
I mean, I guess not for Kev Dew, I suppose.
Not for Kev Dew, I guess. But, a little bit of an oddball there.
A
Huh?
little bit of an oddball there. My mother says, "Good morning. Good morning, Mom." Definitely. They sent me a picture of dinner last night. Fried pork. Oh my God. I don't know if it was like a tenderloin or whatever, but it looks so
Coming
good.
off the AC weekend.
Oh my goodness, yes. And then Michael Buck says also Liam's coming back on Friday against St. John's. About damn time, dude.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. Honestly, that's exactly when you need him. Richard is going to be prepared, but I know Hurley is ready for the challenge.
Oh yeah, we definitely know he is. John Pollock also ready for the challenge. He says the best damn podcast on this planet right now. Throwing the fire emojis. Michael Buck is going back on the Disney train. Wants to know if I've ever seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Of course, I've seen that movie, dude. It's classic growing up. Reminds me of Brian.
Why? Because it's Disney, and that's my favorite thing. Is
Ah,
that what you were getting at?
no, it was just a stupid joke. And then Kev Dude did confirm Luca still hurt, LMAO. And then Buck just shouting out John Pollock actually now too. He's getting in the mix here. Shout out to John, Josh B, Kev Dew. And then he's saying that Luca, per his sources, makes his Lakers debut on Saturday, he says. And then he's going back on the Yukon, the three-peat. Let's make history. Come on, Barnes.
Yeah, I mean, let's go. Definitely really pumped for that St. John's game, and can't wait to go later in the month, less than 3 weeks away. That atmosphere is going to be nuts.
Yeah, dude.
But honestly, just the way that they played against Marquette, stepping up on the road, this one will be a gamble on Friday. Excuse me, but expecting nothing less than an emphatic W. The crowd chanting Liam McNeely's name.
He also says Lakers, Celtics, NBA Finals, UConn, Duke, National Championship. What do you think about those matchups?
Yeah, Lakers, Celtics. Yeah, I mean, they're feasible. The Knicks, I mean, the way they've been playing, they may have something to say about it. I wouldn't completely rule them out in terms of making the finals. I mean, it's been quite the run. Boston will be a challenge for sure. I think they give them a run for their money. And then Duke, we know what Cooper Flagg has done there. And then UConn, I mean, Michael, there are 3 more tests here, 2 against St. John's, once again, 1 more anyway, against Marquette. They do that. Then we really might be talking about something.
We really might be talking about something, dude. That's for sure. And then Michael Theophil here says, still can't see Buck's comments. He's still blocked. Looks like he's not coming to the studio anytime soon. Straight facts right there. And then I think Kev Dew was saying the Soto comment was towards Barnes. He says, yes, we got that.
You know what? Like I've said this so many times, have fun, Soto. But we won before you got here. We'll win after. Not a big deal.
Michael also says, John Pollock, smart man. Absolutely. Kev Dew says, if you believe that I got a bride for sale, Luca is out.
Bridge for sale? He corrected it with bridge.
Oh, he did bridge.
I saw it's like the Cav with these
the flan.
I think he should just start writing rap songs, honestly, because he always has these sayings that feel like they could be part of the hook.
Honestly, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And he's got that voice.
Yeah,
he'll definitely carry.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
John Pollock here says Lakers are not going anywhere without a center in the middle. Luka and LeBron are great players, but you need someone to get rebounds. Everyone in the West is a center, but the Lakers. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good point, and obviously he's not available. But if they could get somebody and there is no but a Jared Allen protecting the rim, the putbacks, that would make a big difference. I made the Drummond comparison in his prime.
Do you think they pick anyone up?
I mean, you would think somebody.
Right?
It just remains to be seen who. Jackson Hayes. I know Michael had mentioned. But I don't know if he's good enough. And I don't know. Maybe they do want to get Drummond again. I mean, I think he's still on Philadelphia. It doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. So never know.
Yeah. You think they just stay put and move forward with the roster they have?
No, they're going to get somebody, like I said, but I would think on the smaller side, unless someone big comes available. Christian Wood's still hurt. I know he's not really necessarily a center, and he hasn't played in a while. So somebody, but who? That's a job for Shams Charania.
And then Buckdale wants to know what game you're going to, Barnes. The one on Friday or the 23rd?
The 23rd, Michael. The Garden, the Carmines. Come on, Michael.
And then he says that he wants the Knicks to go on a run as well. And then now he's saying he wants the Knicks Lakers NBA. You know what, dude? Come on, Michael. Let's stick to one thing here.
Showing a little lack of stability in terms of a vision.
And we don't need that. We need some stability here at Downtime.
And then we have Matt from the TCA. He was on the chat last night. I'm sure he's riled about that Knicks win.
Yeah,
and
dude.
He says, "Oh, howdy there, bros.
Howdy there, bros, dude. Love the PFP there.
Him with us as well. As we are moving and grooving, as Tony would say.
Yeah,
on a
dude.
2 times Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday, Brian.
Kaliev? It's a start.
Come on.
It's a start.
All right. Yes.
2 for Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday.
Done. It's not that hard, Tony. You make it so difficult. We're going to talk about a lot of different things today.
The fuck?
But you know what? I mean, it's always my favorite topic. Let's start in the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
It's so kind of interesting. Not a signing to start with here. But, somewhat of big news here as the Major League Baseball has fired umpire Pat Hoberg for shared betting accounts.
Oh, that's right.
And after a lengthy appeals process, Major League Baseball on Monday has fired umpire Pat Hoberg for sharing legal sports betting accounts with a friend who bet on baseball and for intentionally deleting messages key to the investigation into his conduct. MLB said Hoberg adamantly denied betting on baseball directly or indirectly, with Commissioner Rob Manfred saying there was no evidence that Hoberg directly bet on games or manipulated the outcomes of any games in any way. In its statement, MLB said it fired Hoberg for failing to uphold the integrity of the game and that he should have known that his friend, a professional poker player, had bet on baseball from the shared account. I would think where there's smoke, Tony,
there's fire. Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, I worked at MLB Network. Obviously, people know that. They were very, very adamant about us not betting on baseball.
Right.
Okay, we were not allowed to bet on baseball.
It's the same thing for everyone in the minor leagues.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this isn't a fucking joke. Like you have, obviously, as an umpire, you have access to, changing the course of a game. Just like as I would have access to inside information that no one else would have access to until, until it comes to light or
MLB
public,
tonight,
whatever.
when BK's.
Yeah.
No, BK. Like
Brian Kenny. Yeah.
Like is talking, like breaking news about an
Yes.
injury or something.
Yeah.
That made sense. Like, wait, what was with like the chuckle? Like, what the hell are you talking about?
I don't know, because you just MLB tonight, BK.
No, right? No, I'm saying it.
No, yeah, you're totally right.
That information comes out.
Yeah, no, you're yes. BK. You
Yeah.
like BK?
Yeah. No, I know you think he's a chief.
I
but
do think
honestly,
he's a chief, dude.
I just think he's got the voice. Seems like he's got the knowledge. But I could see maybe
does have the
there's
knowledge.
frustration with some type of aggressiveness, maybe,
Yeah.
He looks like boxing.
He does love boxing.
He's an MLB guy, but he used to do all of like the fight stuff on ESPN.
Right, he interviewed. Didn't he get into it with Mayweather a little bit too?
Yes,
in an interview.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
dude. But I mean, that's whatever. But I mean, he's all right. He did. He was on the MLB Now show when I was there.
Mark DeRosa,
Lauren
Shahadi.
Yes, Lauren Shahadi, Robert Flores, also.
Flores.
But in any case, dude, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
All right, that you just can't be betting, on games.
Right. Especially an ump. Like, I mean, even your thing you could debate, well,
Right.
I mean, how much is that really going to help you? But the ump making the calls, I mean, and it's in the comments here. I mean, talk about an asinine thing to even think that would relatively be okay.
Yeah, dude. And not to mention, it's like, oh, you can say, oh, it's a shared account, my buddy, whatever. First of all, Like, why? Why is it a share? Like, why are you doing that? And then, right? Oh, no, we just share just cause. And then also, it's like, even if it is a shared account and you're aware of it, you probably tell your buddy, hey, I can't bet on baseball, so don't bet on baseball on this account. You're clearly like, doing an illegal thing here. So, I mean, I think, and also really dumb, by the way, to not think you can get caught. Because there's been people, like I said, that I've worked with that have gotten caught. Burner accounts, they figure it out, and if done, like
not even an appeal process.
No, like literally, you're plucked out of the office, and we don't see that guy again.
Yeah,
okay, dude. So it's like to think that you're an umpire at that level and that you can get away with it is so dumb, dude. Yeah, it really is. Like, it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And that guy obviously deserves to be fired, and probably will never umpire ever again. Right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I guess, too, they're saying he's 38 years old and was widely regarded as the best ball strike umpire in the MLB. He can apply for reinstatement no earlier than the start of spring training in 2026, also known as spring training next year. I just have a hard time thinking that they're going to let him back, especially because, I just feel like there's just so many, and baseball has kind of stayed away from this, but the other sports, obviously basketball had the whole Donahue thing, and we know everyone could talk forever and ever, but the Chiefs. Hockey the same way. There hasn't really been much, at least that I remember, of people saying that. So they've stayed away from this, and I think they want to stay away from this. So I would think he doesn't, even sniff in another opportunity again. I do see, though, we do have a bunch of other comments, and some of them regarding this, if you want to get to those.
Yes, definitely. Matt here does say that umpire is really freaky, hecking dumb, he says. Josh B, beyond dumb. And then Matt, he says, I mean, why would you be sharing an account as an ump? It really doesn't make any sense unless you're trying to get away with something, and he wants jail time. He's calling for jail time for this kind of stuff. John,
I mean, it fucks everyone else, though, who's betting, too, if he's actually doing that.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. And not to mention, it also screws over, the players, the teams, fans, the teams. I mean, and it screws over everyone. And then John Pollock says, I agree with Matt. Send that dumb ump to jail. Danny V in the house says, let's go, boys. John Pollock says, good morning, Danny. And then Matt asks, actually, here, is hockey betting a big market?
Obviously compared to the other sports, it's going to be low, but at the same time, when money's at stake, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, especially when people are that sick where they're manipulating games and stuff, they don't care if it's track and field, if it's high school volleyball.
Literally.
If they're going to get a cut, they're going to do it. So that's why, you have to monitor these things.
Yeah, I mean, people bet on, the Croatian tennis league at 2 a.m.
The horse races.
Oh my gosh, dude. And also it does, I mean, I feel like it's been, I feel like raising a lot of conversation too about college betting as well, dude.
Yes.
Because obviously that's huge, and not for nothing. I mean, not to say it's new, but I would say in terms of money making and the players making money, the NIL deals, I mean, that is relatively new, so there's new money in there. So, I mean, I don't know, it may be something worth, throwing down some more regulations or whatnot. But Matt wants jail time for manipulation. We also can go back up to John Pollock. Before that, he said, hashtag free Tyrese Maxey, 76ers are trash, which they are.
Yeah, I mean, Maxey, I'm sure, he could help a number of teams.
And then Matt here says at the VFW, which is the Veterans War Bar, we bet on who washes their hands in the bathroom. It's pretty serious money. That's nasty, dude. How do you even monitor that?
But I think the point is that, anything can be bet
on anything.
And I was reading more into this article, so it doesn't appear, because obviously, I mean, he was known as the best ball strike umpire in the league for a reason. So it doesn't appear that he manipulated any calls, reviews, anything. I think it was kind of like what you were saying, the inside information.
Oh, yeah.
About injuries and just stuff they're hearing about the team.
Yeah, lineups, drama, injuries, stuff like that. I mean,
that's what it is. Or a line, because, the line's set early in the day, but maybe once the lineup comes out, maybe the line's different. You know
exactly.
What I mean? So I think it was more stuff like that, and that's obviously why he deleted the text. That's just, I mean, once you do that, that's like the whole, a fair thing, the suspicion.
Well, if you were innocent, why would you delete it?
I was a little low on memory. That's like what Ari Gold said.
Yeah, exactly. My ass.
And I actually did just get to the part where have the separation, he tries to throw the actually, I know you didn't. Wait, did you watch it or no?
Not the whole thing, no.
Okay, But basically, yeah, he
separates from his wife.
Yeah, it just starts because like things have been just he's just making a fool out of himself, constantly answering calls, interrupting their time and stuff.
Classic.
And then he tries to throw like a big party, have Christina Aguilera sing for her or whatever, and then she doesn't even show up, and then calls him and says she wants to be separated. Then they start the next season. So I'm on the last season, which is almost like it's kind of tough. Like there's like that much room left to go here. I've just been binge watching these episodes, and John is a little further behind, but he's been doing the same. So now it was like he just found out that because he was like, why can't we just like get back together? And she's like, oh, well, I actually started seeing somebody, and then he just completely like lost his mind, and like it's like, well, I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
It's tough, dude. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Get the prenup. Did we get another comment?
Actually, yeah, I think maybe there is one more in here. Wow, Michael says DTV equals Entourage.
Michael,
dude.
always riled for Entourage. Always riled.
And then John Pollock here, riled for baseball.
And I'm having a complete lapse here. Did he say who he likes for baseball?
Tigers.
Oh, because he was mentioning the Tigers. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So obviously the Flaherty signing, was big for him.
Yeah.
And, we did have some minor stuff yesterday, actually somewhat, involving the Yankees here. One move that, it's a minor league deal, so there's no money really tied up here. Any that would, be of any significance. Yankees going with Cookie Carrasco on the minor league deal. I don't know if you saw that.
Are you serious? I did not see that, dude. Wait, the New York Yankees signed Cookie Carrasco.
Yes, the deal includes an invitation to spring training. It's a minor league deal. He went 3-10 with a 5.64 ERA for Cleveland last year. Obviously cooked. Obviously
dude.
A depth move, hoping to find something. But
Yankees getting some of the Mets sloppy seconds now.
Well, he came from Cleveland. So be careful. He came from Cleveland, originated in Cleveland. He's a Guardian. He's an Indian.
Come on, dude.
Okay. And then former Yankee Tim Maeza signing with the Pirates here, $1.15 million. And yeah, his numbers were terrible last year. At times he kind of got it together with the Yankees, but I'm definitely glad he's gone. But I still can't believe it's just so frustrating that this whole Tim Hill thing keeps playing, that like dragging on, and he keeps saying the Mets are interested. I would love to know what the numbers are, because I just can't see them being anything significant.
No.
And the obsession with the luxury tax just for something like that. It's getting a little frustrating.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I mean, I really just don't. I don't get it. I mean, just like you, right?
And let's see,
62 games last year, 3.36.
Empire
ERA.
Sports Media 26 minutes ago. Yankees might have to secure lefty free agent before it's too late. And the Twins just signed Danny Colombe. I think he used to be on the Orioles, so they're saying that takes another lefty off the board. And he's the best option available on the free agent market. I'm just trying to see if this really says anything, in regards to but it just doesn't seem like there's anything, significant. But I'm guessing just because they're on that luxury tax line. But it's definitely frustrating, because I just don't understand, what the plan is if they don't sign him.
Yeah, right. I mean, what are they gonna do?
I mean, and their bullpen is good. I know, yes, you can rely on them to, develop guys that like Tim Hill, like they developed last year, and then be really effective for them. But I don't know. I just feel like you don't even have one lefty. It would be nice to have somebody that you could count on.
Oh, yeah.
The salary's not high. And he really did a tremendous job for the Yankees. I mean, really was one of their, best relievers last year.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, we're just looking at those numbers. Just, I mean, with the Yankees, just with the Yankees, not even with the White Sox here. He had how many starts? 35 games that starts. But a 2.05 ERA, 44 innings pitched, give only 36 hits. So, I mean, it's like, pretty solid. And obviously we know about, the strikeout stuff is not necessarily there.
It doesn't need to be.
But it doesn't need to be.
The ground.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not giving up runs, you're not giving up runs. So, great job there for the guy who's going to be entering his 35th. Oh, his birthday is in 6 days, actually. He'll be turning 35 in 6 days.
Okay.
How about that, dude?
What do you think about John saying it's a great day for the Tigers to sign Alex Bregman?
I mean, I guess it is, I suppose. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. I mean, if we we didn't really think he's going to go to the Tigers, right? Don't they?
I mean, that's what they
right?
said, but I mean, it appears, there's some type of line drawn in the sand for Houston, because I know Tigers' offer originally, which I don't know if it's still on the table or not, was a bit larger than Houston. So,
Oh, really?
but I just think, and like I said, I don't like him long term for the Yankees, but for a team like the Tigers, it probably makes sense, because they just, I think even if it's, he's going to hit 20 home runs and hit 250, that would actually, provide some punch to this lineup.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. No, definitely would. But I feel like, does he want to go to Detroit?
Yeah, I think I think he must want to just go to Houston. You would imagine.
I would think so.
Why, it's just like Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the Mets.
Right, exactly. He's not going to want to. He's not going to go to Toronto. He's not going to go to LA. Like, stop it, dude. Like,
but it says Tigers still pursuing Bregman after Flaherty agreement. So
yeah,
I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess we will see. And Pollock is pretty still high from beating them in the playoffs last year. He says too. So.
That's true. I mean, that was impressive.
That was
sweep. And taking Cleveland to Game 5 too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Ernie saying, "Let's go year." So good to have Ernie here. He's mentioned. What was the chuckle for?
The year.
Oh,
yeah.
But he's mentioned the Yankees with Bregman. But it just seems like everybody said that's not even remote of a possibility. Me and Tommy, and I feel like we talk about this a couple times a week, but we're talking last night on the Discord, just about, how well Arenado, if they ate a lot of the money, I think it's $64 million he's owed, because Colorado's paying $10 million, that if you could get them to eat, half of that, $20 million, it would kind of make sense. But then again, I think even though that would provide some stability, I think it's still more exciting to give a prospect a try, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting to see if, what Arenado could do, I suppose. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that he's got a bad attitude. I mean, right? I mean, I don't really trust it.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of washed. I hate to kind of say it, because
he could probably still field, but can he even hit 20 home runs? I don't know.
I don't know, dude. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just the whole thing of him, leaving Colorado, and then again, I haven't looked at his numbers, I guess, in a while, but we've done it before. It's not, they're good. I mean, again, his fielding is great. Gold Glove, the plays is awesome. But I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he can't really gel right with certain people. And not for nothing, I mean, look at the fucking level of play that the Cardinals were putting out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great,
Right.
like their outcomes weren't good, which is crazy, because they've had, I feel like they've had a dominant competitive team for so long. You know?
They're always in the conversation.
Always in the conversation.
But yeah, he only slugged 394 last year for the Cards.
Yikes.
Hit 16 home runs in 152 games.
Did he play? Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that's playing all the games. The defensive metrics were still really good. I was just seeing if there was anything on the splits. But, just like I said, I mean, I think from dollars, it would make sense if they're going to eat a lot. But he's going to turn 34, come April?
April, yeah.
So, for 34, 35, 36-year-old seasons, I don't know, if that's really going to entice many teams, and that's probably why they haven't been able to deal.
Yeah, I mean, for that money, like you said, it's just not great, and it is interesting. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would St. Louis would have to retain a lot more money if I were to take on Arenado.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Didn't have a month with a slugging percentage over 468. So, I mean, that's just the power just dissipated last year for whatever reason.
And it's crazy because, the average, compared to the rest of the league isn't horrible. 272
for the money that you're paying them.
Yeah, it's not worth it. And it is interesting because he couldn't contribute 71 RBIs. You think maybe like a different, but again, that's what people said when he with Colorado. Oh, different place. He's going to play better.
Give him to Detroit. He'll have even more flyouts.
Yeah.
Field, right?
Oh my gosh. It's such a shame, dude.
I know. Because he was always honestly one of my favorites. And you talk about like getting him 5 years ago, how exciting that would have been at that time.
Man.
And then John says Houston overrated, LOL. Maybe they should have kept the trash cans.
Hey.
Good point. And yeah, it's just like the core of that team is really dwindling down. You don't really have much left. You obviously Altuve. I'm trying to think even who else, like especially from the 17 team. Is anyone else even on the team?
I'm trying to think in terms of like pitchers and bullpen.
Verlander. Oh, no, Verlander's gone.
Yeah, he's gone now.
Wait, where did he go again? Why am I completely? Or did he not go? Or no, he did go.
No,
Right?
I'm pretty sure he did go.
No,
No, hold on, I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay. He went to
Angels?
San Francisco.
Damn it.
Yeah. But I really don't think there's anybody left. I think it's just Altuve.
Yeah, no, I think you might be right.
Because
Dude.
Bregman would be if
Yeah,
he comes
yeah.
back. They have Alvarez. And I think, I don't know why they didn't keep Kyle Tucker. I mean, I guess they just feel like they weren't going to re-sign him, but I don't know.
Would have been a huge asset.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. Who knows over there? I mean, after Dusty Baker retired, I feel like,
Yeah, I'm trying to think who even
the manager is.
Yeah.
Some loser. No, here, let me look.
Yeah, let's see here. Is Joe? No, Joe Espada. It definitely is.
Joe Espada, yeah. All right.
And I see we had a couple more comments there.
Let's get to Ernie right here. Actually, he says, "How we feel about Carrasco? What do you really think?"
I mean, I would say, he doesn't pitch one pitch for the Yankees this year. I think he'll get bombed in spring training and they'll release him. I mean,
you're probably right.
Year,
I
right?
suppose. Yeah. I mean, the guy can't. I mean, he can't even get a strikeout. It's crazy, that guy. Also, Jay Bird says MLB talk in early February is getting me excited for the season, dude. Let's go, Jay.
Let's go. Ernie says, "Wow, LMAO."
I mean, are you really surprised though, Ernie? I mean, it's
batting practice.
Literally, I mean, we saw him with the Mets, and I mean, he wasn't even good enough for them. So I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And then Matt hyped up Knicks game on the Discord tonight. The back-to-back Knicks games.
Back-to-back Knicks games. They're north of the border in Toronto tonight.
That's a little bit of a tough schedule, dude.
Tough schedule, but Toronto sucks. So you would think that they put the beat down on, but who knows, right? It's the NBA. Anything can happen.
Yeah, no, you never know, dude. Jay Bird, I'll catch you at the stadium, brother. Then Matt here says Carrasco is a Cashman bargain bin special.
Yeah,
wow.
No, they're probably thinking Blake, but no, it's not.
I mean, that would be probably some of his greatest work.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest work of any pitching coach ever.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I definitely agree. But I don't see it happening.
Ernie. Lakers in 6, baby.
Wow. That would be something, but we'll have to see what it looks like. But
are you back on the Lakers train, or
I'm just interested, but it's just I feel like always I always just kind of liked LeBron. Now I'm just kind of not that, like I said, I don't have a problem with LeBron like everyone else, but I'm just watching from afar here, and honestly, I would like to see the Knicks make a run. I think they're way overdue. The Garden, the playoffs, it would be kind of sick.
I mean, we say it too. I mean, when the Knicks are playing well, it is great for the sport of basketball, and it's great for New York too. I mean, people are clamoring to have a playoff contending team in New York, dude. I feel like it's been, I mean, obviously the Rangers, whatever last year, but still President's Trophy, regular season champions. It's exactly. It's we've fallen short so often, dude. I mean, even just recently too with baseball. I mean, Mets and the Yankees. I mean, it's just I feel like New York hasn't had like a big win for the city like that in so long, dude.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then Matt says like a Kmart blue light special, which is definitely true. John Pollock getting a chuckle out of that one. And if we could go now, Tony, let's just take a quick trip to the world of the National Football League.
Oh. He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh, my goodness. Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life. Burrow fires, intercepted. Picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk. Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So the big news yesterday, obviously, we talked about Myles Garrett on the show, demanding a trade. And then the Rams kind of doing the opposite of that, saying, Cooper Kupp making the announcement himself on Twitter saying, I was informed the team will be seeking a trade immediately and be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. I don't agree with the decision. Always believed it was going to begin and end in L.A. And he obviously was a part of that 2021, Super Bowl winning team. They're just talking about the contract. He signed a contract extension. Next year and the following year, he's supposed to have cap hits of 29.8, 27.3. He's definitely missed games with injury over the last couple of years, but when in the lineup, has produced.
Always.
You look at the totals here. Since having that record-setting 1947 receiving season with 16 touchdowns, he played 9 games in 22 at 812 yards, 6 touchdowns, and then 12 games the past 2 years, totaling 737, 710, 5 and 6 touchdowns respectively.
Very good there.
And he is 31 years old. Will be 32 before next season, so not a ton of time left. And it seems like they're probably trying to clear out some cap space here. They know Nakua is definitely set as the number 1 wide receiver. But I have to say for them, especially with that contract, I don't know what the value is, what the return is. I don't necessarily like the move, and I know there was some talk about Stafford. I think they're going to give him an extension. I think he still has 2 or 3 good years left. It seems like you could have went one more run, and really, they weren't that far away from beating the Eagles and potentially being in this Super Bowl. So I don't necessarily like this move for Los Angeles. I don't know if they're getting the return that they deserve for someone of Kupp stature, especially if he's going to play a full year. He could have a huge season.
Yeah, dude. It is kind of a weird move, and it is kind of sad to hear too, the way Kupp is speaking, obviously, I think just like him, I think many others thought, his career would end as a Ram. It is odd. I get maybe the Rams want to, free up some cap space. But I do think, like you said, you can get more years out of Stafford. You can get more years out of Kupp. And not for nothing. I don't know. Nakua had a big injury, to start off this past season, as did Kupp too. But, I think maybe they were underestimating a little bit of having Kupp and Nakua on the same field at the same time,
Right.
I think, having, you got to cover Cooper Kupp,
Right.
We've seen what happens if he's open, over the middle of the field, downfield, he is an electric player, just like Nakua. But I feel like that tandem just works so well. And like you said, they came pretty close to, advancing through the playoffs here. And I don't know, man. I just like you two, I think it's a bad move. But not for nothing, dude. If I'm other organizations who, need another receiver, I'm going to be going after Cooper Kupp for sure.
Well, and you're going to love what John Pollock has to say.
We'll see what he has to say. Kupp to the Bucks, dude.
Godwin, a free agent. Edwin's getting up there, but obviously Kupp, same age. But
yeah, but still, dude, that would be great, dude.
Would be ridiculous.
The combination would be crazy. Oh my God, dude, it's so funny. I still just scroll on Instagram. I'll pop over. All of a sudden, I'll see some Baker highlights, dude, and I'm like, this is sick, dude. It really did pay me to see him fuck up that jet sweep, dude.
Yeah,
and the fumble before that, dude. Damn,
could have been the run.
That was it, dude.
That was the end of the run, the jet sweep.
He literally had it in his hands, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting, dude. I'm always going to bring it up because obviously we're Jets fans here, but Jets? Too many mouths to feed?
Yeah. Because I think if Rodgers comes back, then they're going to keep Adams. So, there's no room for Kupp, and Wilson was already tight. Sure, you could trade, but why are you going to trade your young wide receiver and have two 30-plus-year-old receivers? Doesn't make sense. Bucks, to me, makes a lot of sense, as does the Bills.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, we said, the whole postseason, and it seemed, like Amari Cooper, that acquisition, it was a big name when they landed it, thought it was cool, but I don't think they really utilized him a lot.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that may be. So definitely, Cooper Kupp would be a great addition, dude. For sure.
Yeah.
A lot of teams, I think, would,
Yeah, obviously contending teams, of course, come to mind.
Washington.
Right.
How about the Chargers?
Yeah.
That would be sick. We talked about their receiving core, not being that great. And I think, him and, Justin Herbert would definitely be linking up pretty nicely. So, we'll see what happens, but I would imagine there's a lot of interest,
Yeah. Yeah. And then for them, he would just have to move his locker across the stadium.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
easy
dude.
Move for him. And John also says Kupp
and Evans would be interesting. That's for sure.
Definitely would be. It's going to be interesting too. I think they announced his replacement, but Baker, going with his, third offensive coordinator as many years for the Bucs, and then you think back to the previous year, he was in Carolina and the Rams, so he hasn't had like the same offensive system 2 years in a row in a long time. I don't know if Cohen kind of matched what Canales did, but
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, you're saying this season will be the first?
No, it's going to be again. No, I'm saying it's because Cohen's gone, so it's a third different.
It is a third. Okay,
yeah.
They hire somebody already?
Yeah, they promoted Josh Grizzard to replace.
Okay, I did hear that
him, and I just want to see. So you would think he would have similar principles, being under him. I'm just seeing.
Yeah, someone within the organization too. So maybe not much would change in terms of the offensive structure to the team.
And he was the pass coordinator. The previous year. So you would imagine it would be very similar. So
yeah.
But obviously, once you're in the game calling the plays, it's a little different. It's a different role, but at least you would think the same principles will stay intact. John also says T. Higgins to Washington if he leaves Cincinnati. That's another interesting one as well. The Chase contract has to get done, but that's one I would almost guarantee gets done because the rapport Burrow and Chase have. It's just it's a Hall of Fame tandem.
It is, dude. We know about the numbers, crazy from last season. But do you think Higgins ends up leaving then?
Yeah, because I just think there's too many contracts to get done. They got to shore up that defense. So I just don't think it'll end up working out. Unfortunately,
that's tough, dude.
Because that's a money combination right there for sure.
Yeah, that is. It's tough to see those receiving tandems kind of get broken up,
Yeah, no, really. Absolutely. So be interesting to see, what happens. And then just some other news. Obviously, they've started some, media stuff for the Super Bowl. I guess yesterday, Kelsey saying that he has no plans to retire anytime soon, even if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, which is interesting because wasn't it a question last year before he's just going to go with his brother? Weren't a lot of people saying that?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. I didn't think so. I would think if he does retire, it's going to be after a Super Bowl winning year. But I don't know. What is anytime soon? Does that mean like he's going to play for 5 more years?
No, but I think it means that he's playing next year, obviously.
Right. But within 2 years retiring, to me that's still soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see it. Maybe 3, but that would be it. If he kind of produces similar to the way he has the past couple of years, it works out for him. It works out for the team. Obviously, he's got the rapport with Mahomes, and even if the numbers don't pop off the page and he's sitting out the last game of the season, it seems like though when he needs to catch a pass and run a route, he's doing it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. How old is he? 34?
35.
Yeah, that's wild. For a tight end to be playing at, let's say, age 38, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think Antonio Gates got up there, and Tony Gonzalez probably similar as well. That's really all there is. You're just talking about Kellen Moore saying he's focused on the game, not the Saints head coaching role, but obviously their head coaching search has lingered on this long. Pretty obvious that that's going to be the decision, and really they should be able to just announce it before I get it. They don't want it to be a distraction.
Yeah, of course.
And then this is something you would get riled for. The Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts said the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 57 lit a fire in him, and that he's focused on finishing the job this time around. Saying, I've learned so much. It's the same as any other game. I think the moments are the moments, but ultimately, every game has its lessons, good or bad or indifferent. So just being able to become wiser, grow, mature, and take all those lessons in the next season and the next games. So it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's very well said. Definitely something you want to hear from the leader of your team, your quarterback, going into the game this weekend. So, hell yeah, dude. I'm like many other people around the world in this country, pumped.
I wonder what the breakdown is if you take each fan base out of it, like around America, like the who's rooting for who. I know, Michael Bucket watching Disney movies, but I wonder what it actually is.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I would imagine a lot of people just also don't like the Eagles and Philadelphia, right. So it could be pretty split though. Although I don't know, I could see a lot of people going the anti-Mahomes route.
Right. And the fact, too, that even though if I don't like the Eagles, I like Barkley.
Yeah, I was going to say that, too. I don't care about Sirianni. I don't care about Hurts. I don't care about Philadelphia. But Barkley, what a story, man.
Yeah.
Betting on himself, leaving his team. The Giants didn't want him.
Yeah.
It's great. It is a nice, I don't know, I wouldn't say comeback story, but yeah, let's say comeback story.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Can't wait for the big game. We'll be here before we know it. We'll keep an eye on all the NFL news leading up.
Big game, dude.
Big game. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle break. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide! Made the full split save!
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
All right. So not exactly an action-packed night on the ice last night. But me and Tommy were in the Discord as we saw the Senators come back from one down to beat the Predators 5-2, breaking the Vegas trap scenario. A lot of times
We knew it.
you take it and you get beat over the head, but that's just not what happened here.
I can take it.
And it was interesting. I forgot who the goal was, but there was a goal. I think it was in the first period that they kept reviewing like over and over again. And I've never seen this, Tony. So they reviewed it, like the booth.
That was when the Ottawa challenged, the
and then
goalie
Ottawa challenged
interference.
it after, but I've never seen that. Like, and Tommy was saying he hasn't really seen it either because it's like they're focusing. But Tommy was saying the challenge gets just from the refs there and brings in the people from the headquarters in Toronto, I guess. But have you seen that happen before?
No, I guess not. Where just the refs review it and then they challenge it.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty crazy goal. I saw. I guess there was a scramble at the net. Saros never really had the puck.
Yeah.
Whistle was blown and then the puck goes in.
Oh, so it was the whistle was the problem.
Yeah, the whistle was the problem.
I was like, they didn't interfere. It was anything. The Nashville player like hit into it.
Yeah. But the refs blew the whistle. It did kind of seem like it was a little too early.
The whistle.
Yeah, the whistle. Yeah. But again, I don't blame the refs that much because in that scenario, like they're taught, like once the refs lose sight of the puck, you blow it dead because you're not sure what's happening. The goalie could have it covered, and then with the scramble in front of the net, it's very easy for someone to hit it and kick the glove, whatever, puck goes in. So the second they don't see the puck, they blow the whistle. That always happens. And yeah, I mean, Ottawa went on to I guess challenge goal that there was no goalie interference on the ice, which. Again, it was just a whole total mess, dude. I don't really know why Ottawa challenged it, to be honest, because I couldn't really see the refs or the officials in Toronto kind of overturning the call on the ice. And then that's exactly what happened. I mean, there was a no goal, and then Ottawa goes on the penalty kill. Thankfully, though, Nashville kind of sucks, so they were able to kill it off. But it was pretty crazy. Like you said, I haven't seen much that happen ever, I don't think, really.
And then John saying here that it's a great feeling to have the number one wildcard spot for the Red Wings, as they do now. I guess they have the tiebreaker over Columbus. And then Ernie says Chiefs by 5. But I would agree. But Tony said that last year. He said the Chiefs aren't going to just keep winning Super Bowls. So I don't know, right? Come on, just joking around.
Yeah, we'll see, dude.
The look from the couch returns. But looking at this game, just in terms of the goal scorers here, Forsberg got the scoring out. There was scoreless first period, but Forsberg,
great goal there.
4 minutes into the second is 19th, and then you had Gaudette and Sanderson for Ottawa scoring. Gaudette 16, Sanderson's 5th, and me and Tom were talking about it was an absolute ripper. We were saying, from kind of far out, we were saying, that's what the Rangers obviously have to do more of.
The Sanderson goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely ripped it. I don't know if you saw the highlights.
I did see. Yeah, I did.
And then we were saying, too, it's funny how the Rangers, not funny, but almost more frustrating, but how they're so careful with their passes. But when they actually score their goals, it's always like dirty goals. Like you would say, he literally said dirty goals. Tom, we were talking about it yesterday. So you hope they do more of that. And we'll need to do that tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Marcia Schultz started off the third with his 16th on a power play. And that power play through the challenge. It was 2-2 there early on in the third. And then 3 unanswered for Ottawa to clinch it. Pinto, his 11th. Perron, his first on the power play. And then Grieg had an empty netter, his 9th. with a little less than 3 minutes remaining. So Ottawa moving to 29, 20, and 4. Nashville falling to 18, 27, and 7. We saw Trotz in a box kind of walking around. And I was saying, I just don't understand long-term vision there for the Predators. I guess they just thought that they would be more competitive this year, but just so many veterans. And it seemed like, so it's like, what is Trotz there for? But I guess they thought that the veterans would work, and clearly they're not.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're definitely, I think everyone literally on the team has been so underwhelming in terms of goal scoring. And, you get glimpses of greatness. I mean, not for nothing, that Forsberg, the first goal of the game here, was on like a tremendous like transition from defense to offense. And, because of that, you kind of like a 2-on-2 going the other way for Nashville. And then all of a sudden they have players trailing, a couple good passes, and Forsberg finds the back of the net there. And I mean, not a tremendous move too. I mean, it was great, dude. So I mean, it's so far and few between for Nashville. And I mean, that's why they're 18, 27, and 7.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just maybe it is old. I don't know. I guess age maybe, but I don't know, dude. It's not for nothing. Stamkos, last year was playing well. We know about what Marshall Shaw can do. Not to mention Ryan O'Reilly too. Also another guy who's just like, a gritty forward. I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely a little bit of a head scratcher. I would have thought Nashville was better. But hey, I mean, I guess maybe it is age. I mean, you look at Ottawa. Ottawa has a lot of young players. Gaudette being one of them, I think, dude. I want to say he's like 22 years old, Adam Gaudette. Oh wait, no, he's a little older. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. But in any case, dude, it's tough. I don't know honestly where Nashville can pivot to.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah,
like it's almost like a blow it up scenario.
You would think that's the case, and we'll see if Trotz, hangs around for it. And then so that was the only game last night, and also obviously Ottawa has been great too recently. In that third playoff position. In the the Atlantic Division? Yeah, Atlantic Division. So crazy to think not that long ago we thought Brady Tkachuk was coming to the Rangers.
Never gonna happen.
But we have a 14 pack tonight, Tony. And I guess there's 2 national games on Hulu, Disney Plus.
Really, dude?
So that's going to be the Oilers Blues at 8, and then followed at 10:30 by the Stars and the Ducks.
Wow, do some late night action.
But games aplenty. So I think it's a good time, Tony, to do a Tuesday Frozen Frenzy. Get the pipes ready. 14 up, and it will be 14 down. 1 sip to get them ready.
By the way, this NHL Frenzy is brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm, baby. And it's going to be a big one. You mentioned it, 14 games, dude. A lot going on here on this Tuesday. Honestly, it's almost like you don't know where to go, what to watch, but we're still starting off as we typically do, 7 p.m. We're going to TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. The Bruins are going to be taking on the Minnesota Wild here at Minnesota. Watch out now, coming in here at plus 110. Okay, so a little bit of value there. The total is set at 5.5. Like many games we've had preview, this is the first time these two teams are versing each other this year. And you think of their last 5 games, both teams winning 3 of the last 5. Wild just lost to Ottawa, got shut out 6-0. But that was 3 days ago, had some time off. The Bruins as well. Their last game we know was the win against the Rangers. But what do you got here tonight, dude?
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one.
It is tough.
But I guess just because I feel all season long, especially away from home, Minnesota has just done a great job. 26-3. Now you could say kind of trappish with the line there, plus 110. Boston's been good at home too, 17-8-3. Yeah. But I just think Minnesota, the better team. Eriksson Ek, Tony, maybe getting in the mix as well. Total set at 5.5. I think it actually goes under. I think we have a low scoring game here. But give me Minnesota 3-1, Wild in the under.
I like that call, to be honest. Especially Minnesota, honestly, coming off of that shutout. I mean, it's not many times that Minnesota this year has gotten shut out. So to imagine them coming back with the vengeance. I love the call, honestly. Wild, the under, good goaltending matchup. Boston has some pretty, I guess, not great defense, which will probably be their demise here. Maybe a third period Kaprizov goal. Not Kaprizov, Zuccarello, rather. And they win 3-2. Let's say 3-2. Keep it close. Next game here, still 7 p.m. We're going to go to the KeyBank Center in Buffalo. The lowly Sabres will be hosting the red-hot Columbus Blue Jackets right now. Speaking of teams who are living above expectations here, Columbus, because of that, plus 145 here in the money line on the road, dude. Over under 6.5 here. Let's see some scoring. The Sabres are actually on a 3-game win streak right now. Could be kind of due for a loss here. Blue Jackets have won 3 of their last 5. We know about how hot they've been recently. The Blue Jackets did take care of business against Buffalo 6-4, but that was way back in mid-October, Brian. The goaltending matchup, very similar numbers here. Merzlikins, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. What's going to be the outlier here, dude?
Merzlikins, though, better than the numbers show. Again, the Vegas trap at the minus 170. I say nonsense, Tony. I'm hitting it head on here. I'm going to say the Blue Jackets. Excuse me.
Hey, now.
Wierzinski, 2 goals and an assist. I'm going to say Blue Jackets win this one 5-2. So give me the Blue Jackets and the over, that value at plus 145.
Yeah, I mean, you can't knock that value. And I think they have pretty good odds of winning. And Tage Thompson, we saw the dirty hit. I don't know if he's going to be a little banged up. I didn't really look into it. He is labeled day-to-day. He's probably going to play, though. But nonetheless, I mean, actually, I forgot, dude. Kirill Marchenko got hurt.
He did get hurt
for the Blue Jackets. Fuck! Oh, give me the Buffalo Sabres. Why not? Let's make it 4 in a row. And you know what? Thompson plays. He's tight about the hit. Where the fuck was his team, by the way, when he got hit? Hattie Boom Batty, Tage Thompson, book it, Josh B. Let's go, dude. Sabres, I'll say 5-2. Sabres and the over, all right? And now buckle up because there's still a dozen games left to do here. Let's go now to Tampa Bay here as the Lightning take on the Senators. Senators, Brian, as you mentioned, will be on the back-to-back tonight, which makes it pretty interesting for them. We will probably see Linus Ullmark activated off the IR here over the weekend. Ottawa coming in here, though, is plus 150 dogs on the road. Total set here is 5.5, it looks like. Last time these two teams faced each other was also late October. Senators won 5-4. Lightning have looked a little bit different since then. Senators looking for their 5th win in a row, though. I know it's going to be tough on the back-to-back, but the Lightning struggling, losing 3 of the last 5. The Islanders overtime loss. We know about that one. What do you got here for Tampa?
The Lightning returning to their winning ways, 16-7-2 at home. So we talked about value. No value at minus 175. But a winner is a winner, and I think they get it done here. I'm going to say you're going to see Kucherov have 2 goals and 2 assists, being involved in all the scoring as the Lightning win this game 4-2. So give me the Lightning and the over.
Lightning and the over. Man, this is a tough pick, dude. I'm going to go Lightning, too, though. I think Ottawa is unfortunate, the back-to-back, and you get Nashville first, too, which is tough. You have the easier team than the harder team. Give me Lightning. I say Vasilevsky shutout, 4th of the year here. He's actually been boasting some great numbers for Tampa Bay, which is why they've been doing so well at home as well. And I don't know, maybe Braden Point with 2 goals and an assist here. Tampa Bay, they go on to win 3-0. So T-Bay and the under. Next game, let's go to Pittsburgh now as the Penguins are hosting the New Jersey Devils, Brian. The Devils coming in here at minus 150. You're over under 6.5. Devils played the Penguins right before Christmas break, shut them out 3-0. Since then, they've been kind of playing all right. They've won 3 of the last 5. They just lost to Buffalo, surprisingly, at the KeyBank Arena. Penguins, here, working on a double 2-game win streak here, just beat the Predators and the Utah Hockey Club. Back-to-back games, coming in here at home. Sidney Crosby, I know people are saying a little bit older, but still 57 points on the year still. What do we got here?
Yeah, this is interesting. But I'm going to go with the Devils. You just can't trust the Penguins this year. Yeah, they beat Nashville and Utah, but also lost to San Jose, Seattle, and Anaheim in dominant fashion. So I know the Devils have had some injuries, but they do have Jack Hughes, and I think that's enough here. Give me the hat trick for Hughes tonight. I think honestly it gets to be a bloodbath. Give me New Jersey all day here. I'm gonna say 6-2 Devils and the over.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh, dude. I'm going to go for Pittsburgh. Why not, dude? You mentioned the injuries, for the Devils. Markstrom's still out. I don't know if Palat's going to be playing, but Nico Hischier also got hurt, I think, last week, which seems like he's always hurt. I know Jack Hughes is great, but the injuries would be too much here. Penguins will make it 3 in a row here at home. I think it's going to be classic, dude. The Crosby, the Malkin goal scorers here. When they score, they win. Penguins, 2-1, tight one. Pittsburgh, and the under. Let's keep going now. 7 p.m. We're going to the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., dude, as the Caps take on the Panthers. This is going to be a great matchup I'm sure we'll see in the playoffs as the Capitals, 34-11-7, never looking back here. Panthers, obviously, a similar record, 32-19-3. But you know what, dude, here, it looks like Florida is minus 120. Over-under is 5.5. The Caps did beat the Panthers late November, 4-1. But since then, the Panthers have gone through some ups and downs. Right now, they're on the up, winning 4 of the last 5 games on the 3-game win streak, shutting out L.A., beating Chicago, beating the Islanders. Taking care of business is what they call that. The Caps, speaking of a schneid, back-to-back overtime losses in Canada, 5-4 to Winnipeg actually at home, 5-4 to Ottawa in Ottawa. They had a little bit of a tough road trip to Canada. I'm sure they'll be happy to be home, but do they have what it takes to beat the Florida Panthers, Brian?
Finding their way back, Tony, to Washington using the Northern Lights. I'm going to say they get the job done. I think it's a shootout, but they win 5-4 in overtime. Who else but Alexander Ovechkin as he inches closer to capping Gretzky's record there. So give me the Capitals and the over.
Listen, I like that call. Maybe Ovi scores tonight, but I think Panthers are hot at the right time. The 3-game win streak, as I said, a little bit of TCB, taking care of business. They do it tonight. They do everyone a favor. They beat the Caps here. I think it'll be a tight one because we have some great goaltending, great players here. But I say Panthers win. I'll say 4-2, empty netter at the end. But still a tight game. Panthers and the over, dude. Let's keep it going. 7:30, getting a little bit later here. Speaking of the Islanders, we'll be at UBS here as the Islanders hosting the Golden Knights of Las Vegas. Las Vegas here, minus 150, over under 5.5. Believe it or not, Brian, the Islanders beat the Golden Knights early January, 4-0, shutting them out. Very interesting. And since then, we know the Golden Knights have been struggling to score, struggling to find the back of the net. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games, only beating Florida. Kind of ironic there because the Islanders just lost to Florida. They've still won 4 of the last 5, though. Are they picking up where they left off, dude?
You know, I hate to say this, and if Corey's listening, I'm sure he could kind of resonate with this pattern we've seen. But the hot win streak, they lose last time, kind of the later game collapse. And unfortunately, I almost think it's similar to what the Rangers went through, that hot streak and those couple terrible games. And unfortunately, I think that's what happens here. I think Eichel's hot. He gets another 2 to get up to 20 goals in the year. And I think we're going to see the Golden Knights take out the Islanders at UBS. I'm going to say by a score of 4-2. It's going to be the Knights and the over.
It is tough, obviously, but hey, man, I mean, not for nothing, the Islanders have been having that good run without Sands, but Matthew Barzal.
He's out for a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I forget what his injury is, but it is a major one, which keeps happening to him. Yeah. I hate ESPN when they just say
they had a great year last year. I mean, he had a great year last year.
Yes, he did.
But this year, the numbers were a little off.
I think only 20 points through however many games, but nonetheless here, I'm going to take the Islanders. I think Islanders at home here. Golden Knights struggling to score. I don't know. I think Anders Lee, a couple goals, Bo Horvat, a couple as well. I think there's a lot of talent right now for the Islanders that can score, and Golden Knights have better than just can't, dude. I think it's in regulation. Islanders win 4-1, send the G-Knights packing home. So Islanders at plus 125, some value right there. Let's move forward. Next game here, going to 8 p.m. St. Louis, dude. The Blues are going to be hosting the Edmonton Oilers. Not a ton of value here. Edmonton minus 185, over under 5.5 here. Oilers working on the back-to-back losses right now. Lost to Detroit in the shootout. We saw that. Also lost to Toronto in regulation a few days ago. The Blues, though, have lost 4 of the last 5. They're not good. Did break a little bit of that losing streak against Utah a couple days ago. They beat them 2-1, but obviously Edmonton, different team here. Over-under is set at 5.5. If I haven't said it already, Brian, what do you got?
I'm going to say Oilers bounce back in a big way, 6-2. How about this? Connor McDavid, no goals, but 4 points, 4 assists for McDavid, 2 goals for Draisaitl. An absolute beatdown at the Enterprise Center. It's going to be the Oilers and the over.
Yeah, the old Edmonton beatdown, dude. I'll second that sentiment right there, dude. I mean, I guess maybe Binnington can play well, but nonetheless, dude, this is definitely scam likely here. 1-800 number. Nice job. Yeah, give me Oilers. I'm going to say Oilers and the over. Actually 5.5, 4-1 final score. Edmonton and the under. Watch out, dude. Let's go next game here. We're going to go to Canada now. Winnipeg, the Jets taking on the Hurricanes. This is a great matchup here. 2 great teams here. Winnipeg, obviously top of the West. Carolina, top team here of the East. First time these 2 teams will be facing each other. The Jets are on a 6-game win streak, I think, dude. Let's just double check here. Doesn't really matter that much, though. They are on a 6-game win streak, like I said. Yep. Hurricanes here, over under 5.5. They're minus 125 for the Canes coming into Winnipeg. What do you got, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the Jets, though. I got to go with the Jets. Hellebuck, I know Hurricanes, are playing well, and Rantanen's a big ad. But I like the Jets at home, 25-3 for a reason, Tony. The plus 105 trap, nonsense. I think Hellebuck, shutout against a quality opponent here, 3-0. Connor with a goal and 2 assists. Winnipeg in the under.
Yeah, it's interesting for the plus 105 for Winnipeg. They're on the win streak. They have the home record. Hurricanes here, 12-11-3 on the road. Not great. Let's hammer that plus 105, dude. I'll say Winnipeg. I'll say the under, though. Maybe Hellebuck gets the shutout. That's it. Hellebuck has 6 shutouts on the year, dude. That's crazy.
A lock for the Vezina. Absolute
lock right now. Winnipeg, 3-0, and the under right there. Why not, dude? Make it a 7th. Next game here, we're going to 9 p.m. A lot of late games here as we're making our Canadian swing here. We're going to Calgary, and they're going to be playing the Toronto Maple Leafs here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Toronto coming in here at minus 150. The over-under is 5.5 here. This is also the first time these 2 Canadian teams will be facing off. Both of them have lost 3 of their last 5. Both teams going through the schneid, even though the Flames kind of gone through the schneid for more of the season than Toronto. What do you got here?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Toronto here. And I know, there have been some struggles, but overall 31-19-2, pretty strong mark, despite losing 3 out of the last 4. I think they get going here. I think we're going to see Austin Matthews. Let's say 2 goals, 2 assists. Marner on the score sheet as well. We're going to go 5-2 Toronto. So give me the Maple Leafs and the over.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maple Leafs off the schneid. I know it's crazy to say that, but the Flames extinguished. Leafs, they win. I'll say 2-0. Why not? Marner with the goal. Leafs and the under. Next game, let's go to Salt Lake City. Okay, the Utah Hockey Club, which may be changing soon, actually.
To the Mammoths.
To the Mammoths, possibly. I know they released some new logos and such. I'm still not really high on any of those names, to be honest.
The Hockey Club
honestly, dude, I hate to say it, but it's almost like, yeah, I guess. Regardless, here they're minus 135 at home against the Flyers, who they're hosting. The total is at 5.5. This will be the second and last time that they face each other. The Utah Hockey Club, a team to be named later here, they are on a losing streak of how many games? 5 in a row, dude, which is not great. And I mean, I know it's the Flyers. Look at them. They're last in the Metropolitan. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10. They're also in the 3-game losing streak. Kind of a little bit of a toilet bowl here. What do you got?
Give me Utah. Vizmelka getting back to his shutout ways. Another shutout. Say 2-0. Keller with both goals to get to 20. Utah And the under.
I hate to say it, but the Flyers have been
Torts.
shut out for their last 3 games.
They return the favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. Let's go. Return the favor. 3-0. Flyers, Torts. Let's go, baby. Flyers in the under. Let's go now. 10 o'clock. We're getting late games. Rogers Arena, Vancouver. The Canucks hosting the Avs, dude. I hate to say it, but this could be ugly here. Colorado minus 135. Over-under is 5.5, dude. Canucks, back-to-back losses. The Detroit loss in overtime. We know about that. Avalanche, the back-to-back wins. Back-to-back shutouts, of course. Flyers, St. Louis, outscoring them 7-0, dude. Is it a shutout here in Vancouver tonight?
No shutout, but I'm going to give the Avs the win here. Cale Makar with 2 goals and an assist. I'm going to say they win 5-2. Give me the Avalanche in the over.
Yeah, I love that call there. Avs in the over. Canucks.
Let's hear the Hito goal, Tony. It pains you.
It does pain me. I'm sure he will. And Quinn Hughes may make a tremendous pass his way. The connection there, I'm sure, will be great. But nonetheless, I mean, it's Colorado. They're far better, far superior than the Canucks. So give me the Avs winning this one. I'll say 5-2. Avs and the over. Sorry, Vancouver. Next game here, 10 p.m. Let's go. The Detroit Red Wings on the road here, going to Seattle, the Climate Pledge Arena here as the Kraken are going to be coming in here at minus 120, over under 5.5. The Red Wings beat the Kraken earlier this month, 6-2, Brian. And since then, they've been red hot. The win streak, we know, the Kraken ice cold. The Red Wings take care of business in Seattle.
You know, just for our buddy John, I'm going to say they remain red hot, remain in that top wildcard position. Lucas Raymond, I think, is going to have a goal and 2 assists. I think they play a great defensive game against this Kraken team. And I think they're a little disrespected even here going up against Seattle at minus 120. I'm going to say they win 3-1. So the run for the Red Wings continues. Give me the Red Wings in the under.
And going. Yes, absolutely. Red Wings. They'll make it 7 in a row. That's a win for every day of the week, Brian. Give me Detroit and the under. Kraken can't score. Maybe they'll net 1, but Red Wings 4, Kraken 1. Next game, let's keep it going. We have our final 2 games now, 10:30 p.m. We're going to go to Anaheim as the Ducks take on the Stars. Another game that could get ugly quick. Stars coming here at minus 230, over under 5.5, which Dallas could really score on their own here. Dallas, another team who is red hot, even though the Ducks have been hot as well. I think the Stars are on a 5-game win streak right now. Ducks have won 4 of their last 5, only losing to Calgary at the end of January 4-1, but beating Pittsburgh, beating Nashville, beating Seattle, beating Montreal. Ducks hot, Stars hot. Who's losing this one?
Upset alert here.
Stop.
The Ducks, the Vetrano hat trick, Tony. Shocking. The Dallas Stars there at the Honda Center. I'm going to say they win 5-3. And that last goal of the hat trick for Vetrano on an empty netter. So give me the Ducks and the over value on the plus 195. I know Tony doesn't agree.
I don't agree. I'll give the Ducks some respect to their name, I suppose. I say it goes to OT. They play good defense, but at the end of it, give me hints with the OT winner. Stars win 3-2. Stars and the under there. Last game here. This is going to be an interesting matchup. 10:30 p.m. Also, we're going to be going to San Jose, sticking in California. The Sharks take on the Montreal Canadiens here. You know who's not been hot? Both of these teams. Canadiens on a 5-game losing streak. Sharks losing 4 of their last 5. Getting pounced recently by Seattle. Kind of interesting. The Canadiens are going through it right now. Because of that, though, they're still minus 170 on the road here. Over under is 6.5. What do you forecast here for the first matchup between these 2 teams?
You know, never laid a minus 175 so easily in my life. Canadians coming back with a vengeance. Mountain View shutout, I don't care. I'm going to say Suzuki with the only 2 goals of the game. Canadiens in the under. Mountain View getting the Canadiens back on track.
I think absolute scoring bonanza for Montreal. Canadiens in the over. They win 7-2, Brian.
And just like that is your Frozen Frenzy 14 deep.
That was a lot, dude. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, the pipes are recovering, and I saw we had some comments. John,
I'm sure,
loving the frenzy. And let's see what he got.
Yes. Let's see what he's got. Oh, yeah, he's going off with the friends. Let's go, dude. He says here, Minnesota shut out Boston 2-0. Love the call there. Wings are playing the villain character as of late. Jets are scary. F Philly, 4-1 Wings. And then he says, upset San Jose, upset the Canadiens 2-1. Wow, dude. So the upset alert from John. That'd be interesting. Definitely a game to keep your eyes on. Interesting that the Canadiens are going through a rut right now, you know?
Yeah, kind of, but I guess it's just the quirks of the season.
The monogamy.
The monogamy of the NBA, that's for sure. Monogamy of the NBA. And we will close with the NBA, but before that, we have to do another Panini pull. This time,
let's go. A little
going
football,
back
right?
to the NFL here.
Yeah, baby.
15 up, and it will be 15 down. So 14 on the frenzy, 15 on the cards as we are chugging along with these boxes. And I have to say, it's been an absolute treat to have one of these to do every show the last week or so. As we get to the card, which of course, when you want to just do a quick pull, it's just never that easy. But we will get there one way or another. And we're going to start with the legend of all legends.
Stop it.
And somebody I feel like Tony would just get robbed for. Old school, hard-nosed player, Hall of Fame linebacker from the Chicago Bears, Dick Butkus. So the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, there it is,
obviously
dude.
has the award in college, top linebacker award named after him. Started Penn State. We know the deal. Moving along here from the Dallas Cowboys, somebody that we're a big fan of, and we think eventually will eclipse Justin Tucker's field goal record, Brandon Aubrey.
Bang, dude.
So that's a nice card to have there as well.
Whoa.
Let's go back. Let's go back to that.
There we go. Yeah, look at the camera.
Come on.
A little bit to the left. Yeah. Look at that kick right there.
But a future star, future Hall of Famer, potentially maybe another future Hall of Famer and star. Obviously has some work to do. A lot of time left to play. Number 10 from the Packers, Jordan.
Yeah,
Love.
Dude. Let's go.
So that's a good one to get here as we're 3 down with 12 to go. And down, and how about Marquise Brown from the Kansas City Chiefs here? So who knows? Maybe he's one of those guys has a long touchdown catch run in the Super Bowl. You never know, but can run like no other. From the Houston Texans, bring pressure off the edge. Will Anderson Jr. Was the 2023 NFL Rookie of the Year. So a good card to have there. As we are 5 in, 10 to go. And the Connecticut native, and it's ironic that me and Tommy were talking about this, not a long list of professional athletes. Obviously, we know about Matt Harvey, Matt Barnes, just to name a couple. How about Dwight Freeney, the Hall of Fame defensive end?
Where's he from?
I forget, but I know it's upstate, and I'll have to look at that.
Torrington.
He played at, I think that's what Tommy actually said yesterday. So big number 93, an absolute legend. Number 16 from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, dude, there we go.
So the former number 1 overall pick looking to get things going with Liam Cohen as his new head coach. Will try to work the magic that he did with Baker last year.
Yeah, we'll see.
A personal favorite of Tony's, stash aside, because I'm just kidding, because he's tight. Gardner.
Oh, no, dude.
Minshew. So it'll be interesting to see, does he have a team this season? Really was a major disappointment for the Raiders last year.
He was.
Moving along here, the Elite Series rookie card from the Houston Texans, the tight end, Cade Stover.
Yeah,
so it feels like
dude.
we're in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
with this
move to
card.
the left. Yeah,
but how
dude.
the left is technically my right, or I don't know.
No, you're
it's
left.
Confusing.
Oh,
You get
my
all-
goodness.
But this is a nice card. Honestly. It reminds me of a Pokemon holographic, Tony. No?
Yes, it does.
From the Philadelphia Eagles, Johnny Wilson. So I guess he's a rookie here, 6'6". Haven't seen his name mentioned too much. But
John Wilson.
A rookie is a rookie, Tony, right?
Rookie is a rookie.
The Rookie.
Great movie.
And from the Baltimore Ravens, number 2, Nate Wiggins. So a cornerback out of Clemson. So nice to get another rookie card here, number 391. How about this? Michael Theophil cheesing somewhere. He's talked about the curse laid on the Jets, and it has to do with number 12, Willie Joe Namath, Tony.
Wow.
The Alabama product leading the Jets to their only Super Bowl franchise history. Talk about going back in time here. Joe Namath, Broadway Joe. All right, so we got 3 cards left here. We're going to go with one of the younger star cornerbacks in the league from the Seattle Seahawks, Tariq Woolen. So definitely a good card to get here. The 6'4" physical corner,
Jeez.
I'm sure is going to have a big season coming up. And Mike McDonald's second season as head coach. 2 down, 2 left here.
Wow.
And we're going to go with a legendary card, number 80 from the Atlanta Falcons, Andre Rison. Emerged as an instant Pro Bowler when arriving via trade in 1990. Second best receiving season in team history at that time at 1206, and he topped himself 3 years later at 1242. Had over 10,000 yards and over 80 touchdowns in his career. So Andre Rison here. And we finish up with a current player, future Hall of Famer from the Arizona Cardinals,
Future Hall
number
of Famer.
3, Buda Baker.
Wow,
So
Buda
a big
Baker.
card to get here. And just like I said, 15 up, 15 down. And I would say, Tony, another outstanding Panini pull.
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of great names in there, dude. Obviously, Joe Namath in there. That's pretty big, dude.
Yeah,
Pretty big.
absolutely.
Michael doesn't think so, though.
What does he say?
He's laughing. He says, let's break the curse by burning the card.
Wow, and then he's kind of chirping you here.
Yeah, he is kind of tripping. He says,
Were you not going to read it if I didn't say that?
stop reading that. No, I was going to get to
Okay.
it. He says, stop reading the heights of players. When he gets too excited, he loves tall men.
Oh, my God. That's
That's such a ridiculous statement.
the typical banter between Michael and
Well,
Tony.
you know what? Michael likes any man, tall or short. How about that? How about that? And then, John Pollock was, I think, laughing as well at the Namath card.
The Namath card and the F Dallas too. But come on, everybody loves Aubrey. I feel like even if you don't like the Cowboys, no.
Yeah, come on.
Favorite card, go.
There was the Colts rusher. Was it Sweeney? No, what's his name?
Wait, Sidney Sweeney?
Sydney. Oh, come on, man. That's searching for it,
But
Brian.
not Sweeney, but Freeney.
Freeney.
Dwight
Freeney.
Freeney.
Yeah, Dwight Freeney. That's what it was, dude.
Okay.
Yes, I remember definitely watching him on the Colts. I remember playing like Madden 06, and I was, using him. It was dope card right there, dude.
And then Michael says, Tony, Renee said there's a new girl bartender at the Horseshoe, apparently a babe that likes to drink her. Is that like some inside joke or something?
Well, Renee with her roommates last night went to the open mic at the Horseshoe last night. So I guess there's a new bartender who works Monday nights.
Wait, but that bartender, and I know you know what I'm talking about without saying who it is, like she's not still working there, right?
Not that I no.
You know what I'm talking about, though, obviously.
I think so.
She was getting a little friendly with you like a couple of years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was a while ago.
Oh, no, she's still there.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she's just not there when we're there.
She's never there on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the, honestly, the funniest times. Maybe not for you. You might still be a little traumatized.
Honestly, since then, she's reformed her ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And Michael's saying, no, dead ass. John Pollock likes the Will Anderson card out of the pack of cards, and that's a good one. He's a
Anderson's a
guy that's going to make an impact in this.
What about you?
league
Who's
for
your
years
favorite
to
card?
come? I'm going to go with Dick Butkus. I mean, an absolute legend, Tony, honestly. Absolute legend. The Bears. When you think Bears, you think Dick Butkus, though, honestly. The defense.
What's his name?
Come
on,
You're
man.
honestly.
Said it.
You're an animal.
Yeah.
An absolute animal. But yeah, a great pull there. Really the only other thing that I was just going to mention, for our fellow Nick fans and listeners here,
Michael,
big comeback last night. Jalen Brunson lighting the Garden on fire in the fourth, and I think I don't know if it was. I think it was Dave actually right before we put the right before we started the show, we were listening to the tail end. I mean, dropping 46 in the fourth, not Brunson, but the Knicks themselves for their 33rd victory of the season, 18-9 at home now.
I mean, how often do you see that?
Was impressive. I think that was definitely impressive. 42 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. I guess Mitchell Robinson was just cleared for contact. He's a guy, they're looking forward to getting back, especially with the Anunoby injury. Preston Achua playing big minutes last night, having 7 points, 9 rebounds. But depth is going to be the key here. Because last night, the only guy who played, or two guys that played over 10 minutes were Cameron Payne and Miles McBride off the bench. So you would imagine they would do something before the looming trade deadline. But it is kind of, it's interesting. There's definitely been some up and downs this year, but the Knicks are becoming a big story around the league.
Yeah, dude, is Houston undersized? Because I feel like Karl Anthony Towns was just so dominant, like underneath the boards.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to look.
Well, maybe not. Maybe Karl Anthony Towns is just that good, but I just feel like
Easton's 6'8". Obviously Towns is like basically 7 feet.
Yeah.
And then I guess Sagoon didn't play. I think that was the big thing because Sagoon I think he might even be 7. He's 6'11", so they were missing him.
So
he's averaging 19, 10, and 5 assists.
Oh wow, okay.
So that probably played a big role. But nevertheless, I just think it's impressive what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
And Brunson too, being able to not have to carry the load every night. To have Karl Anthony Towns there to go off, I think, it's huge. It's tremendous.
I think that they were just also, listen, they worked the ball really well. It was one of those gritty, like grind out wins. Especially again at the end of that game, Karl Anthony Towns, a lot of N1s, forcing himself to the foul line, making up points that way. I think the 3 ball did start to fall, I suppose, in the fourth quarter, but
6
I think they were 6
overall,
of 20.
But that's probably why they got off to a poor start.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen that again. I haven't watched a ton of basketball this season, but I feel like the games that I do watch, like the Knicks are like do or die by that 3 ball almost.
Mm-hmm.
Because we say all the time too. It's like, if you're missing so many, like stop taking them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they kind of insist on it. And listen, obviously, when the 3 ball is hot, it's great. It seems to be few and far between.
Yeah, and Houston, that probably bit him in the ass too. They were 8 of 28. Mm-hmm. But the difference in this game, the Knicks ended up winning by 6 points in the paint, though they outscored Houston by 12. So you mentioned, weakness in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, made a big, reason why they were able to come back here. And obviously Jalen Brunson, what he was able to do in the fourth quarter, was tremendous. And, like I said, him not having to do this every night, as I think has made him fresher as the season goes along. And then, Mikal Bridges every night's giving you a solid effort. He had 22 points plus 29 on the court.
Wow.
That's a pretty good plus minus.
Great.
And Josh Hart also 19 points, 8 rebounds. He's always right there, solid. So they have a lot of solid players, a lot of team chemistry. So that's why you would think, they're not going to make some like crazy move before the deadline, but something to improve the depth of that team.
Who?
I guess that remains to be seen, but I would think
Butler.
I think a center, not Butler, because I don't think they can't give away much, and it's like the biggest guy that they could trade would be Robinson. They don't want to trade him, so I think it's just going to be something like I said, I keep using this example, but not Andre Drummond, but somebody like Andre Drummond.
Yeah, all right, that's interesting. I guess a couple teams looking for a center at the deadline here.
And I see we have a couple more comments
here. Yes, dude, you have Matthew Gabriel in here for the first time today. That's you, he says, dude. What's up, Matty? And then John Pollock says, Sengun, is that how you say his name?
Yes, Sagoon.
Sagoon. I think Sagoon is about right. Out with a calf injury, so Houston didn't have their starting center, which again, listen, if you don't, obviously it's, unfortunate for them, but if I'm the Knicks, then I'm going to absolutely take advantage of that for sure. Michael Theophil says Jericho Sims, they can trade. He's ass.
Yeah. But then it's like, I was going to say, are you going to get a dozen from Donut Delight for Sims?
Oh, what are you going to get for him?
Yeah. Maybe for Drummond, right?
A dozen from Donut Delight sounds great. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like we mentioned, north of the border, following the Northern Lights, Tony, 7:30 at the Scotiabank Arena. Knicks 4.5-point road favorites there, back to back or not. I think that's a game that they win easily.
Oh yeah,
you don't think so?
I think the back-to-back is tough, dude.
But they've beaten the Raptors 3 out of 3 so far. So this would be going for the 4-game sweep. Tough to sweep a team, in a season 4 games. Raptors also been playing well. Winners of 4 out of 5. And Knicks have been playing well as well. Mm-hmm. But I think the talent ultimately will win out here.
Am I cracking up here, or did they not have the Knicks win on here last night?
Yep, they keep doing that delayed thing.
That's like fire that person. Like, who's not doing their job? Someone's not doing their job.
And then Matthew says we met Drummond at a house party at Eastern. LOL. When he was at UConn, I definitely remember that. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, he ended up getting a $100 million contract, but then obviously for a while now, been kind of a backup center. So the career tapered off, but I think it's just the obsession with the 3-pointers, him not really being able to shoot, you know, kind of being limited offensively. He
went to UConn?
Resulted in that. Yeah, for 1 year.
And then where?
And then he went to the draft. And then went to Pistons. He was a top 10 pick.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is he from Connecticut?
No, I don't think so.
He was just recruited by UConn.
Yeah, for some reason I'm terrible. I don't know about you, but I barely know where anybody's from, honestly. Like,
I mean,
yeah, I know, you know, Aaron Judge is from, you know,
he's from Mount
California.
Vernon. From New York.
Yes. I
okay.
UConn's had a lot of guys from New York, actually.
I bet. I mean, it makes sense, especially if you come from upstate, you know?
Yeah.
But we don't like Andre
he's from
Drummond.
Mass, but I guess he's just a little behind on us here. But yeah,
no,
Mount Vernon,
not.
close enough.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
He's not. Oh, wow, dude. Mount Vernon. I love Mount Vernon.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
You don't say.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, Kemba Bronx, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're at. And I mean, as I usually ask, binge later.
That's right. Binge later. Manny in studio. Mike will be around as well, dude. We're gonna be talking about some movies. The Fantastic Four teaser just dropped. That's actually pretty hot right now. A lot revolving around Marvel, certainly with that movie. Next phase for them in terms of movies. I know you're kind of off Marvel. I'm also be, predicting, there's going to be apparently some certain trailers dropping during the Super Bowl for certain movies, especially as we won't have an episode on Friday night. We're going to be talking about that as well. The commercials potentially also. So a lot of hot button news, rapid fire. You know the deal. 8 p.m. tonight. Binge buddies, Manny, Tony, Michael. It's going to be good. It's going to be good for sure, dude.
Yeah. So stay tuned to that. And obviously, we'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp, and we'll get a nice preview there of the upcoming Waste Management Open, and obviously recapping the world of hockey and NBA from last night, as well as talking about the Rangers. A big game tomorrow against the Bruins at the Garden.
Fuck Boston.
That's a game we need to win, that's for sure. Hopefully Boston loses tonight like we predicted, but we'll see. But yeah, great show today. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jane. Costume the merch at downtowntv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Binge Buddies, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.